Hello everyone and welcome to Picture This Thought. Today's picture is this old broadcast microphone which I've chosen because I wanted to reflect a little bit on how we communicate a message. With the coming of radio, it totally transformed the way news was transmitted and the way people found out what was going on. My granddad wrote an account of his life, and I remember him talking about how amazed he was when he heard the chimes of Big Ben on the vicarage radio. Today at Easter we're celebrating the good news that's at the heart of the Christian gospel. But it makes me think, how do I even know this news? Who passed it on to me? How do I hold the Bible in my hands? I used to think that after the resurrection on Easter Sunday, Jesus immediately went to heaven. But actually, the Bible records that Jesus appeared to his disciples and to lots of different groups of people over a period of 40 days, giving many convincing proofs that he was alive. He even had breakfast with his disciples on the beach. And the last thing he did before ascending into heaven was to give his disciples a really important task. They were to go out into the world and spread the good news about his death and resurrection. They were to teach people the things that Jesus had taught them. They were to make disciples in his name, and they were to teach people to obey everything that Jesus had commanded. This is what's known as the Great Commission, and it's because the disciples took that commission seriously and spread the news that we know about him today. In the early days, there was no radio, no internet, no WhatsApp or Zoom, and yet the disciples took that challenge seriously to share the good news of Jesus. And now that message is being heard in all the countries around the world. So that's something that we need to remember this Easter day, that not only do we have great news for ourselves, but it's news that's too good not to share. So let's take up that challenge to share the good news that Christ is risen and that we can have life and hope in him. Let me pray. Lord, thank you so much that this Easter day we can celebrate that you have risen from the dead and you have beaten death once and for all. That's amazing news, Lord, and I pray that we will take up the challenge to share that news with the people around us and to use the communication methods that we have available to us to share the news far and wide. Lord, thank you for your faithful followers who took you seriously and went to great lengths to tell of the hope that they have in you. Lord, may we follow in their footsteps. In your name, amen. Well, that's today's Picture This Thought. Join me again for more.